Today we're going to be doing intermediate. I'm going to show you traditional grip and I'm going to show you this is Clayton Skinner. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Beat.
Hello there. Welcome to Beyond the Beat. My name is Clayton Skinner, and this is going to be part 2 of my lesson teaching you Almost Easy by Avenged Sevenfold. In the last video, we went over the beats. In this video, we're going to go over the fills. Now, there's really only 2 fills, unless I missed one. One of them happens a lot, so I'm just going to run you through it and show you how to do the basis of it, and then you can kind of come up with your own variations of it. So let's begin with the first fill. Now, the first fill is the fill that takes you out of the intro. It takes you right out of the intro and into like the pre-verse, if you want to call it that. It still follows the 6/4 principle. So the groove is still in 6/4, except you keep going through it as if you're playing the regular beat. But when you hit 5, you play 5E, and then with your feet you'll play and us ixie and boom, and then you jump into the next beat, going into the next part of the song. This can be a little bit tricky because if you don't have the speed, it's a little bit tricky to pull off this fill. Right underneath it, I actually did the same thing, only I wrote it out pretty much the same way, only this time rather than using your feet for the and sixty and I actually made it so that you could just play it around the toms. Believe it or not, he actually does it with his feet. So you could play it the first way, which would be like 5E and 6E and 1, or you could do the 5E and 6E and 1. It's up to you. So beat 2, or lesser 2, is the fill that basically takes place throughout the entire song. It meshes pretty much everything together. The most important part of this fill is near the end where it goes 3 and 4. Bum, bum, bum. At that point, everybody's playing together. They're doing the dun-dun-dun kind of like shots going on, and you have to make sure you match that. What goes on before it, the 1E and a 2E and isn't important. So here's the fill. Here's the actual fill, or an example of me playing the fill. If you listen to the song, he plays it pretty much just like that. He plays it pretty much all the time with the 1E and a 2E and on the snare drum, and then the cymbal hits for the 3 and 4. When you're doing the cymbal hits on the 3 and 4, just a quick note, make sure that you alternate your hands. Don't just go 1, because why? You might as well take the opportunity to learn how to hit the cymbals with both hands. So yeah, check this out. Just give it a try. Start it slow. It's pretty easy. And then slowly ramp up the speed. And then we'll move on. I'll give you some variations of it. Now there's a second example of this. Like I said, the most important part is that you actually play those shots, those 3 shots, the 3 and 4. Make sure that you play those 3 shots because everybody's playing together. What you do for the 1E and a 2E and is entirely up to you. Now there's an example that I actually do in the song, which is what I've written out in the second example of number 2, where I actually, rather than just go ba 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 ba, I actually play like 2 hits on the snare, 2 hits on the bass drum, so like a quad action. Bop, bop, doo, doo. Same thing with like a tom, bum, bum, dum, dum. Then have a flam on 3 and 4, and then continue on. So, bing, bing, boom. Here's an example of it. Here, I'll just keep looping it for you. Now, if you were to count that out, it would just be simply 1E and a 2E and a 3 and 4. It's easy. Now, you can come up with any variation you want so long as you make those 3 shots count. Try to stick with the same rhythm. I mean, don't like try to do triplets or 16th note triplets or septuplets. Don't worry about trying to do stuff like that. Just try to keep it as simple as you can or whatever. It's up to you. Again, you're doing this because you want to have fun, so enjoy yourself. So exercise 3, I just want to throw this in quickly just because you might as well work on it. There's a couple other beats that you play that fill with. They're simple. I'm not going to really go over that with you. I want to go over the Latin one with you, though, because it's important to make sure that you're able to go from the Latin beat, that's the 1, 2, and 3, 4, and then do that power fill that will take you to boom, boom, boom. Make sure that you practice going back and forth with that so you get comfortable. Listen to the song. Make sure you listen to the song. I didn't include every single beat in it because there's some of them that are pretty simple, and if you can't figure them out, you're probably not ready for this song. So just work on that one. That one specifically, the Latin beat, goes really good with that fill. So make sure that you practice it, and make sure you practice 2 of them together, going back and forth so that you're comfortable with it. Obviously, work your way up to 180. Yeah. So, like I said before in the last video, make sure you start it slow. Start it at about 120, and then work your way up to 180. 180 is about the tempo of the song. If you can play it along with the metronome at 180, you should have no problem playing along to the actual song. Something that you keep in mind, when you're playing covers, it's not necessarily about matching exactly what they do. You want to come up with your idea of it. You want to come up with your feel. Don't try to play it exactly like Rev. You're not the Rev. You're you. You play it like you. You develop your own style. And anybody that ever tells you that you don't sound like that song, you don't sound right, so what? You're you. You're not Rev. So that goes without saying for any cover you do. Play the way you want to play it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. I'll probably be making more. So hope you learned something from it. And that's all I got for you. So that's all for now. If you want to get a hold of me through the contact section at claytonskinner.com. You can do it right over here over YouTube, or you can do it over Twitter. Either way, hope to hear from you. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Hopefully this won't be the last of these episodes. Probably make some more. So yeah, anyway, see you there.